everybody. Welcome to the Gaby U Show. I am your host, Gaby U, and today I have an amazing guest, Kristina Telhami. And before we get into our discussion, I'd like to tell you some things about her. Kristina Telhami is a PharmD candidate graduating in 2022. She is also a future integrative health practitioner and functional medicine specialist. She struggled with a lot of gut and hormonal issues in the past, and no doctor could help her with. So, after seeking a holistic nutritionist for help, she found healing without medications. She is currently a health coach and helping other girls with their gut and hormonal issues. And here is Kristina Telhami. Kristina, welcome to the Gaby U Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to finally speak with you today.
Yes, me too. So, girl, before we get deep in our discussion, I like to throw in some quick questions. I call my icebreaker questions, kind of know some things about you here. So The first thing I want to ask you is, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yes.
Honestly, sweet potatoes. I'm serious, but sweet potatoes, I have an addiction to them, specifically Japanese sweet potatoes. I literally have Japanese sweet potatoes every night in my air fryer. I just don't get sick of it. Honestly.
Yes.
I know that sounds weird, but like sweet potatoes are just the best.
Yes. And I think the Japanese sweet potatoes, the texture is different from the regular. Is it like the purple ones? I don't know because.
So the purple ones, they're purple on the outside, but they're white inside. Those ones are the Japanese ones. And they are like a little thicker, like not as mushy. They get like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you've never tried a Japanese sweet potato and you're listening to this, like try one. They're way better than the orange ones. Way better.
Yes. I don't usually like the orange ones because that's the one I find most of the times, but that Japanese one and there are some other ones, the texture, I think I probably have explored that as well. Yeah, I think I prefer that one. Yeah, girl, I'm with you on the sweet potato. I love sweet potatoes.
Thank you.
Using my air fryer too. Yeah. Make some nuts, fries, and less oil too. So that is great. So the next thing I want to ask you, what is your favorite quote?
So I'm going to pull out this quote because I want to make sure I'm reading it properly. So just give me a second. But my favorite quote is, "If we wait until we're ready, we'll be waiting for the rest of our lives," by Lemony Snicket. And so the reason for this quote is I felt like it kind of resonated with me, where I was just waiting for the perfect moment to really start my business, to really start what I'm doing, right? I'm still a student, but I'm realizing like there's never going to be a good time. So you just might as well go for what you want, go for what you're passionate about. There's never going to be a perfect time.
Oh, that is so amazing. And I love that, and that's what I was saying that, before we got into recording, that you being a student, like it's very inspirational that we have this thing that we look in the box, like I have to finish this A before I go to B, before I go to C. But hey, girl, you saw the opportunity here and you're like, okay, I don't have to wait till I'm done with pharmacy school. I can get started, and also, connecting you with the right resources, because first of all, your mind has to be like, there should be a way to do this. And somehow the pathway will start opening up and you saw that opportunity and you grab onto it and here you are.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I love that. I hope you guys are listening. Don't wait. You don't wait forever. You gotta start it. Just get started.
You just get started.
Just get going. Don't have to be perfect before you get started. You start and then you can get perfect. Yes. Okay. So, Kristina, I want you to share with me the things you feel like have shaped you to be this woman you are today. Is it your victories, your struggles? Is it from your health, career, childhood? Anything that you can share with us today.
Yeah, so I guess I'm just going to give a little background story on my health history, what got me here today, because I think that's exactly what shaped me to, who I am today. So I struggled with a lot of digestive issues in high school and younger, honestly, to date, like elementary school. I just remember I've always struggled with digestive issues, and I really didn't understand what was going on. And when I first saw doctors, they put me on something called a proton pump inhibitor, or a PPI, right? If you don't know what that is, it's pretty much suppressing your stomach acid, and you're really not supposed to be on these long term. Like doctors tell you around 4-6 weeks, right? Usually 8 weeks maximum, but like you are not supposed to be on these medications long term. They can cause a lot of damage to your health. And so I was on them for probably a year or 2 years, right? That is not okay. And that kind of further disrupted my digestion, because we need stomach acid to digest and absorb our food. And so I was really continuously struggling with digestive issues. There was a time in college where I just had chronic diarrhea for about 2 months, and doctors told me nothing was wrong with me. They told me to, maybe stop eating some coffee, maybe don't eat some fiber, go on the brat diet. But obviously that didn't help, because I wasn't figuring out what was causing my digestive issues. So not only was I struggling with digestive issues, but hormonal issues. I didn't have a period for 8 years. 8 years. Ever since I had a period, it like went away. And I remember my doctor telling me that the only thing that I was going to do to be able to get a period back was to go on birth control. Now, birth control, synthetic hormones, right? They're really masking your hormonal production. You are giving yourself exogenous hormones that your endogenous hormones, your body's not going to be able to produce them. So after struggling with all of that, I honestly just took control of my own health. I did my research. I did not want to be given pills and masking my symptoms without figuring out what is causing my digestive issues. Why don't I have a period? And how can I get that back? So honestly, those struggles have really shaped me to who I am and why I'm here, and why I'm a pharmacy student who's not even going to be a pharmacist.
Wow. That is what I was going to say, that, you're going through all these problems, medications. What made you now to say you want to go to pharmacy school? I was just kind of...
Honestly, I didn't really want to. And I remember telling my mom this, right? I was like, Mom, I don't think I can do it. But then I really thought about it. And not only is it important that we learn the whole functional medicine aspect of things, right? We really are interested in that. It's really important to know the Western medicine side of things. If you don't know medications, how are you going to know what side effects your patients might be having? Or if you don't know a medication, what it can interact with, right? Supplements interact with medications. So it's honestly important for me to also learn that side of medicine to see what's wrong with it. How can I maybe share this knowledge to other Western doctors, maybe educate other pharmacists, because there is a huge disconnect between the two. There will always be a disconnect, but I really think it's important that you kind of come together, right? Maybe learn both sides of medicine. So I kind of just stuck with it. And I really hate it. I'm not going to lie. I cannot wait to graduate, but I definitely think that it's going to make me a better practitioner. And that's just what I keep telling myself.
Yes, that is so right. And that is the thing too. You learning that thing it makes you a better practitioner, because this is what I have gone through, being a nurse practitioner, trained in the Western medicine model, from a registered nurse practitioner, all Western medicine model. And now me coming into functional medicine, on an alternative way of medicine, I can see both sides. So when a patient or a client comes to me, they're talking to me, I know how to guide them, and what they could do, what they could, even kind of make them to be an advocate for themselves. Because I have been in both sides. I've been as a patient myself, and also, so I have tasted both. I know how. It's like tasting apples and oranges, you know what it tastes like, So it's a great thing that, even though, you might not end up practicing the typical pharmacist, but you are going to be a special type of pharmacist here. So that's amazing. And man, your story, just seeing how was like a domino effect,
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. And a lot of people don't really realize, but your digestive health and your hormone health completely correlate with one another. And the fact that I was having all these digestive issues was probably causing a lot of my hormonal imbalance to start. Right. They both play a part together. So really, really important that if you are having digestive issues, it's impacting your hormones, your memory, your metabolism, it's all going to kind of correlate with one another.
Yes. I mean, it's just because that's the thing, that you say disease begins in the gut. Your gut is the second brain, So I was just wondering, like, when you are going through all these things, would you say you had also some of the symptoms of, like depression, anxiety? What would you say about that?
Yes. And it's crazy because it's crazy that you asked me that. I honestly can't believe I didn't bring it up, but throughout college, I struggled with a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety. I also had an eating disorder called orthorexia, and you're basically just obsessed with exercise and healthy eating. Like I took healthy eating to the max. I would barely eat. I'd eat vegetables raw. Like that was all I was eating. I was probably eating about 1,000 calories a day. Was running 7 miles a day. And so this was not only making my hormones worse, making my gut health worse. I was chronically stressed, but I think just having that gut imbalance and hormonal imbalance was definitely relating to my anxiety, my depression. I remember I would have panic attacks in class and I would have to leave class multiple times, like having panic attacks. I vividly remember this. I was in my biology lab senior year. Right. And I remember sitting there and just all of a sudden, like sweating, all of a sudden, like shaking. And I was like, what is wrong with me? I had no idea, but I would get these weird symptoms like that throughout my last year of college. And now I'm realizing I was probably having panic attacks.
Yes. Can see how all these things links, if your gut's not healthy, it can affect your brain, your food, what you are eating, how much you're eating. I mean, it's something that I stress all the time that sometimes some people don't realize. They'll be like, oh, it must be something else that's causing the problem. It's not my food. I'm like, why would you think it's not the food? You eat food every day. Why would you think it's not you have your gut issues that is causing this, because it just manifests in many ways. When you have gut issues, it might not be that you have constipation or diarrhea. It might be you are anxious, have skin issues, there's just so many ways it manifests that people don't realize. Like,
yeah, no, exactly. And speaking of skin issues, I mean, I can go into what just happened with me. I don't know if you're familiar with everything that's been going on with me and my skin issues, but I can totally share that.
Yeah, share with us. I know I saw you talk something about it so can you share a little bit about those skin issues?
Yeah. So throughout February and March, I started having pimples, right? Like completely on my forehead. And
it's like, hey, you're not a teenager.
Yeah, right. And I've actually never struggled with acne, like even when I was a teenager, even when having gut issues, even when having my hormonal imbalance, right, amenorrhea for 8 years, I never had acne. Obviously, I would get pimples randomly. We all get those. That's not something that you can really get rid of, honestly. But I just started breaking out immensely, and I had no idea what was going on because I already eat so healthy. The biggest acne triggers are acne are gluten and dairy specifically, but also eggs. And so at the time I was eating eggs, but I wasn't eating gluten and dairy. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just remove eggs. Maybe it's the eggs, didn't help. And then I switched all of my ingredients like that I was using on my face to, I was already using non-toxic products, but things that might be causing your pores to clog. So removing pore clogging ingredients, changing my skincare, like eating extra clean. I already eat clean. I didn't know how much cleaner I could eat. No, honestly, I was so confused. And the crazy thing is I wasn't having digestive symptoms. And a lot of the times your skin and your gut health, or most of the time, are completely correlated with one another. If you're having digestive issues, you're most likely going to break it on your face, vice versa. Skin issues, gut issues, right? And so I didn't know what was wrong, but I knew that in my gut, it was going to be gut related. And so I ordered myself a stool test because as a functional medicine specialist, future integrative health practitioner, able to order these labs. And so I ordered myself a gut microbiome test. You literally get a comprehensive analysis of your good bacteria, your gut bacteria, parasites, whether you have an autoimmune trigger, things like that. It is so in-depth. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, yes. And I got my results back in June because I waited a few months until whatever, me trying all the things and it didn't work. Right. And so I found out I had an infection in my body. And this infection that I probably got about 9 months ago had gone on all the way to my pancreas, where my pancreas wasn't producing digestive enzymes. I mean, literally anything I was eating, I was breaking out on my face. I got blood work alongside my stool test, and I ate breakfast, went to LabCorp to get some blood drawn. My glucose was at 30, and that was after breakfast. So if you kind of put this all together, basically the apple I ate for breakfast or whatever carbohydrate I had that morning probably wasn't being digested, right? I mean, my glucose was 30 after carbohydrates. Pretty scary. So I've been able to heal this holistically. My skin has completely cleared up, just have a little bit of scarring, but I really have been able to do this without medications, because I know if I went to a doctor and showed them my chronic acne, they probably would have told me to go on birth control or given me an antibiotic, because that's what we're taught in pharmacy school, to give you an antibiotic, possibly some birth control, Accutane. And I don't want any of that. I want to figure out, why am I having some skin issues? And it was from an infection that honestly, I probably would have never found out I had if I didn't just order myself a stool test.
Look at that. I mean, that is amazing.
Honestly.
So this is the thing I was saying, looking for the root cause. And yeah, that is what they're going to bombard you with all those medications. This is what I went through myself, when I found my functional medicine. Of course, I was getting to her because of GI problems. And then we did a testing and found out I had Hashimoto's, and I think I had some rheumatoid factor
arthritis
stuff,
wow.
Which were also my primary care doctor. She was, they were all calling me, oh, you need to go to endocrinologist, you need to go to rheumatologist, and I'm like, I'm gonna work on my functional medicine. I'm gonna get them, and I got it all resolved. Of course, I went to the rheumatologist and they did more tests and said there was nothing for me to worry about. But the endocrinologist, they were thinking I should go there, get more medication. And I said, no, I'm gonna work on my functional, and my numbers came back normal after some months with no medication. So, with supplements, changing my lifestyle, because again, I didn't know I was that stressed too. So I was stressed with work, not sleeping enough, doing exercise and not sleeping enough. That's not a good combination. And so many things. And this is the thing too, having this opportunity to look into the root cause, which you did. You had this thing, and that's one thing. If you're listening, like, there are other options out there. Seek for them. Seek for other alternative way of medicine here. Functional medicine, holistic health practitioners. This is one thing that we look into. Because it's your physical health. If it's not in order, your mental health is messed up as well. It is all goes all the way around, and also when you have your whole health in order, physical, mental, you can do more things. Okay. And this is why, I'm bringing women here, sharing their stories of what has made them to be who they are today, that there is hope and there are things you can do. You see all of us here, talking about our health, how we are doing well, but I want you to hear the story of how they came to be, and there is hope. You got to seek them. If it's talking to me, talk to Kristina. We can help you through with that, physical, and then you get your mental health too as well. They are all connected. Yeah. So, So what would you say you are most proud of as a woman today? I'm sure you're proud of many things, but what is one thing, if I wake you in the night and say, hey, Kristina, what are you proud of?
Honestly, I'm proud of starting my business up recently, still as a pharmacy student. So for those of you guys who don't know who I am and you're listening to this podcast, I'm a pharmacy student, right? And I have been interested in holistic health, been researching, been studying for the last 4 years since I regained my health back. And I just recently decided to get my LLC, start up my business. I already have clients, already working with lab companies. And I am just so proud that I didn't wait till last minute, because throughout my last year of school, right, everyone kind of has an idea of what they're going to do. And I honestly had no idea what I was going to do. And I knew I really wanted to have my own integrative health practitioner, clients, my own virtual practice, but I really didn't know how I was going to do that or when I was going to do that. I really felt like I was waiting until I got my doctorate, until maybe I had a backup pharmacist job where I could slowly have more money. but I realized like it wasn't making me happy. I was working at CVS throughout the last year and I absolutely just didn't like it. And it was causing me more stress. And I felt like I was using those Saturdays to work when I could have been maybe focusing on myself and my future business goals and having time for myself in general. So I'm honestly just so proud that I'm already having clients. I have my LLC. We have my website up. Like, I would have never thought that I would be able to do this, honestly, at all while I'm in school, but somehow I did it.
Yes. And I am so proud of you. And I'm sure many people listening are proud of you. That is amazing. Yes. That is such, I mean, it's telling you that you don't have to wait. You just gotta get it. I'm just thinking, I don't know why I love the songs. There's this song that say, I don't want to wait for this life to be over. I don't know if you know the song.
That's perfect, though. That is.
You can use that as a skit. I give you an idea you can use for a reel or a video.
Yes, honestly. Now I have some ideas in head.
Yes. That is great. Yeah. So what would be some of the encouraging words you want to, as we're rounding up our episode today, some encouraging words you want to give anybody listening today?
Perseverance. Yeah. I think that's just kind of the word that's really resonated with me, just like really pushing through it. I have cried a lot throughout pharmacy school, and honestly, it was very, very stressful for me. My rotations right now are very, very stressful for me, but really just like pushing through it, because I promise all of our hard work is really going to pay off. And I truly believe that my hard work right now has paid off and it will pay off in the future. And I keep telling myself, like, look at that end goal. What is your end goal? And just keep pushing forward, because I know there are so many times where I've broken down. I'm like, do I want to finish school? Like, what am I doing with my life? But really like pushing through it, and I promise it's going to pay off.
Yes, that is so great. I could relate to that. I have had many tears when I was in school. When I became a new nurse, I remember I used to go my little break time. I'll go lock myself in the restroom and call my husband, I can't do this, too much.
Right? The amount of times I've called my mom crying, honestly. I have called my mom crying so many times in pharmacy school, right? It's so hard. And I just was like, what am I doing with my life? Yes. Honestly, I don't even like it. I'm like studying things that I hate. And so I think that's what was making it harder, because it was doing something that I didn't love. I don't love pharmacy. I really, really don't. And it's not that I'm anti-medications, and I really want to put that out to people. I'm pretty sure you're the same, right? We're not anti-medications at all.
That's right.
There's a time and place for it, though. The issue is that conventional medicine is masking your symptoms. They're not looking at what's causing your high blood pressure. They're not looking at, let's change your diet around. Yes, we kind of learn about diet, but the issue is in pharmacy school, we learn the wrong things about diet. We're learned outdated things of diet. We're still learning to have a cup of milk every morning, or a cup of milk and cereal for breakfast. That's not a breakfast, right? You don't even need milk. There are studies finding that. We can go into that if you like, but I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah. Moral of the story is keep pushing. I don't know.
Well, that's true. I mean, the things things that I've learned, like, what in the world? What are we still learning all this stuff? Talk about milk too. I mean, I was just reading something, since you brought that up, like humans are the only one that drink milk till after 2 years.
I mean, the issue with milk, though, was like, where are your cows coming from? Okay. So we really need to be consuming grass-fed dairy, grass-fed beef, because you are what your animal eats.
Yes.
You are your animal. You're literally consuming.
And that will make you to be able to have the less digestion problems, because they're eating stuff that you could eat too. Not the one that's heat up with all the antibiotics and all the hormones and
all the hormones. Right. You're going to get the hormones. Exactly. Thank you. You feel me on this, because it just really pisses me off, to be completely honest. But that's why, like, people really need to look at the quality of their food, and it's going to make a huge impact on your overall health. I don't want people to think, sometimes I feel like people think of this as like disordered eating, you know what I mean? Where, oh my God, they're just too healthy. Oh my gosh, this and that. But you're really doing it for your health. Like, because you love yourself.
Put good stuff to your body.
Put good stuff in your body and you're going to feel so much better. Like if you're eating a standard American diet and you're having all these symptoms, just changing your diet might change your life. You're going to get that brain fog's going to go away. You have brain fog, maybe take out the gluten, you know?
That's right. I mean, it's amazing what food can do. It's just like, oh my goodness. That's to say, food is medicine. You get quality food, girl, you are going to see a difference. And this is what I've mentioned it a lot of the times too. Like, it's just like your car. You know, you're going to buy the gas. You're not going to put water in the car because it's not going to function well. So why would you in your body want to put stuff? You know, I think it's just getting mindful that what I'm eating. I mean, I know, yes, want to enjoy life, YOLO, hashtag YOLO, you only live once. YOLO. But hey, you know, you have to at least 80% of your time in your life, you should be knowing that the foods you're eating are going to be good for you, quality stuff. You know, I know sometimes people with the expensive or saying eating organic food or, you know, all that, but at the end of it all, you are actually going to save money, save your health. Otherwise, you use that money to go take care of your health, dealing with high blood pressure, cholesterol problems, all this stuff. That money will be spent somewhere.
Right. Take care of your health now. And like people say, Alzheimer's starts in your mid-20s. You heard that right. Alzheimer's starts in your mid-20s because it's a progressive disease. So really take care of your health now. Alzheimer's is known as type 3 diabetes. Why? Because your diet actually makes an impact on your brain health. So really, really take care of your health now. If you're young, you're listening to this, like start now. And
this is the thing I talk to my, you know, just when I was working in one of the clinics I used to work in, I know being a family practitioner, I can see everybody. And I had this teenager, I think, well, maybe he's almost maybe 19 or so, and he's smoking. And I'm like, you know, telling him about the health stuff, all these things that, you know, try and see how you can cut down the smoke and all that. And he was like, well, my grandma, she's 90 years old and she smokes and she drinks vodka and, you know, she's 90. And I'm like, you know what? The problem we have now is that, unfortunately, the world is different than when your grandma was living before she probably can survive right now. There's so many things in the world, you can't compare your grandma. You might not be that lucky to get you know, so that is one thing, living long, and also what is the quality of life as well. So I don't know, I didn't go further to ask him what's the quality of the grandma life, but from what he's trying to tell me, that the grandma is pretty healthy and she smokes and drinks vodka, and he's trying to tell me he's going to be fine. And I say, you might not be that lucky because there are more toxins in the world now. So, but anyway, it was just something interesting that, you know, we just have to put quality stuff in our body as much as we can.
Totally. I agree.
So, Kristina, how can people connect with you?
So you can find me two ways. You can find me on my Instagram, which should be at KrissyT_PharmD, or my website, KristinaTelhami.com, where you can read my blog posts. You can work with me on there, read all about me as well. So hope to talk to some of you guys.
Yes. And you are going to be an author too. Yay.
Yes, I am going to be an author. Well, actually, by the time this comes out, we'll be published. So
yes,
I know we're recording this before the book comes out, but we're so excited.
Yes. Awesome. Great. Wow. Well, all this information of connecting with Kristina, I'm going to have them on the description area if you're watching it on YouTube, and if you're watching it any of the audio podcasts, it will be on the show notes. So you guys need to connect with her. I'm sure you'll learn a lot of stuff with her. And
awesome.
yeah. So thank you so much coming in today. I really enjoyed having you. And we'll keep connected.
Thank you so much for having me on. Honestly, you're amazing. And I hope to learn more from you as well, because you're You have way more experience than I do, so this is awesome.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're learning from each other.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, people. So this comes to the end of this episode today. And before I round it up, I would like to round it up with my favorite quote from Maya Angelou. She says, when you know better, you do better. All right, people. See you next time. Bye-bye.